sharp-looking watch. Thanks, team.
Mrs. Rinaldi, you ever met Mitch Laurence?
Yes.
Where?
At my apartment when Tina was living with me.
That would be on the Llanview estates not far from the main house, correct?
Yes, I live in a garage apartment. It was converted.
Did Mitch ever spend any time there?
Yes.
When you weren't there?
Yes.
Tell me about the locks on your apartment. Have they been changed, say, in the last 6 months?
No.
What kind of telephone do you have?
I have a trim line phone.
You know, I used to have one of those. You know, I used to have trouble with it, though. Every once in a while, I would inadvertently put the receiver down backwards and leave it off the hook. Has that ever happened to you?
Probably.
On the day of Harry O'Neill's death, did you receive or make any phone calls?
I spoke to one of the nurses that I work with at the hospital.
Could you have inadvertently left it off the hook at that time?
I doubt it. I was expecting a call from Viki.
Yes, that's right. You said in earlier testimony that you were going to meet her after her session with Dr. Polk.
That's right.
Did you wait in the apartment for that phone call all day long?
No, I made a quick trip to the grocery.
How quick?
I was back in less than an hour.
Was that before or after Tina Clayton arrived?
That would have been before. She was waiting for me outside when I got home.
Outside?
Outside.
Mrs. Rinaldi, could someone have entered your apartment while you were gone?
I don't know. The doors were locked. It didn't look like anybody had broken in.
What if they had access to a key?
Then they could have opened the door and walked in.
And then they could have taken the phone off the hook, and nobody would have been the wiser. Am I correct?
I guess.
No further questions, Your Honor?
Counselor, do you wish to redirect?
The prosecution reserves the right to recall the witness, Your Honor.
So noted. The witness may step down. Thank you, Mrs. Rinaldi. I realize this testimony was difficult for you. I think we've all had enough. We get out of here. Let's go. Only to present shortly afterwards. That's now early for lunch. Court will reconvene.
There's not much to go on, but we did plant doubt in the jury's mind.
Yeah, but I am really surprised she didn't try to do me in like I thought she would.
Well, just keep the faith. We still have another piece of unexpected evidence in the case.
Yeah, but is it enough to nail Mitch like you said?
Only time will tell.
Dorian, what you obviously don't know is that I am one of the few people around here, along with you, who feels that Tina may indeed be innocent, and I have tried to help her. I even went so far as to undergo hypnosis against the advice of Dr. Polk to try and bring Niki back to find out what actually happened that day.
At great risk to herself.
Well, I'm sure that Tina will be very grateful when she finds out.
Tina knows about it. But that's not why I did it. I did it because I honestly wanted to find out what the truth was. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Niki wouldn't come out. You know, Dorian, I haven't seen you in a long time. In fact, I haven't seen you since the day you took me down to my father's secret room. And therefore, I have not had the chance to say this to you. I really wanted to thank you for doing it.
You want to thank me?
Yes, I do. It was not very easy for me to be confronted with the truth about my father. In fact, as you well know, it was devastating. But it did accomplish a rather important thing. It revealed the secret of Niki to Clint, and as a result, it brought us much closer together. I'm very happy for you. I also want to apologize to you, Dorian, for I behaved very badly toward you that day. I was deathly afraid that you were going to use what you had found out against me, and that you were going to tell everyone how very ill I was. But I was mistaken. Clint told me that you were honestly concerned.
Oh, yes, I was. And Viki,
I don't think that I will ever forgive myself for taking you down to that room. Even though you say it's all worked out for the best in the end, I swear to you, if I had known about Niki, I never would have done it.
Dorian. I believe you.
All right, now it was Tina who convinced me to take you down to the room. But that was because Mitch Laurence was manipulating her. And that's the reason that I am here today. Because Mitch Laurence is a dreadful, evil person who will do just about anything, including murder to get what he wants. And he did do it. He murdered Harry O'Neill.
Proof, Dorian. Do you have proof?
Yes, Tina and I have come up with evidence that places him in the room on the day of the murder.
What kind of evidence?
Strong enough to hold up in court. She's innocent. Viki, I know she is.
But how can you be so sure? How do you know that she wasn't involved in this whole thing with Mitch Laurence? Why are you so anxious to exonerate her?
Because she didn't do it. And because Harry O'Neill's death is a terrible tragedy that I contributed to, and I'm trying to make up for it.
Well, how on earth could you have had anything to do with it?
Viki, when we went down to the secret room, Niki emerged. She told me about her relationship with Harry. She said how much they cared for each other.
Oh, dear God.
And I knew about it, and I didn't tell you, and I didn't tell Harry. I mean, I did try to warn Harry, but I never actually... And so now Harry's dead. And I'll blame myself for that for the rest of my life.
Well, I can certainly understand why you're so anxious to see that justice is done. I want to thank you very much for coming by here today, Dorian.
Not at all. Well, I have to go to the studio.
I'll walk you to your car. We can go out by way of the terrace.
Thank you. Goodbye, Viki.
Bye, Dorian.
Excuse me, Mrs. Buchanan, there's a gentleman here who says he must see
Excuse me,
you.
Mrs. Buchanan. I'm a writ server for Lantano County. It's my duty to serve you with this subpoena. You're called to testify at the trial of People versus Clayton.